There are monsters who dwell in our nightmares. Creatures of unspeakable horror, plotting to destroy mankind. But in this world, there are warriors who have the courage to confront this evil. Because this time, the monsters are real.
So now the monsters are real? Huh, well that's gonna be disappointing to the others. Well, oh well. Everyone, all 13 of you, get back on the chest of demons! Get back! You get back there right now! Get back in this chest! Hey everyone, the Culture Critic here. I get scared because I don't care. So, this month is going to be something a little special. It is going to be dedicated to the more family-friendly horror films. Look, my niece is here for a visit for a couple of weeks. I got to have something for my channel without cussing every 5 seconds, okay? So, what am I going to be watching? Well, I'm going to be watching movies that I personally grew up with or recently seen that are for both kids and the horror fans. And this week's movie is going to be one that I actually grew up with, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Now, for many who don't know, which is quite a bit, I'm actually a Scooby-Doo fan. I grew up with the show. I watched the original, I watched Scooby-Doo movies, I watched 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, I even watched the live action movies. I did enjoy Scooby-Doo. Now, when the late 90s happened, they decided they were going to make new Scooby-Doo movies. And they decided to change up the formula, which was, and they marketed it this way, this time the monsters are real. And they delivered on that promise. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is about the gang having gone their separate ways after years and years of mystery solving. So when Fred and Daphne, who are famous television icons, they are going to Louisiana. Fred brings Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby along, and they go to look for something haunted and real. They are brought to an island called Moonscar Island, where their hosts show them their haunted house. Zombies appear, cat people appear, Confederate soldier ghosts appear. Yeah. And Scooby and Shaggy get the crud scared out of them. So what do I think about this movie 20 years later? I still enjoy it. It's a fun movie. It's a movie that takes itself seriously without sacrificing what made Scooby-Doo popular. Now, is Scooby-Doo the greatest thing on the planet? No. No, it's not. I just personally enjoy Scooby-Doo. But this is a movie where they decide to go a darker route without making it adult. You know, kind of like what the live action movies tried to do. And you can tell by the animation, which is a little more real looking, darker tones, how much butt one monster had. This is made for not just new Scooby-Doo fans, but for those who grew up with the show. Namely, like my parents at that time. So, what else do I like about it? Well, I do like the story. It's simple. It's just the gang go to an island where there are zombies. The mystery is there. You kind of figure out where it goes. You know who the red herrings are. You kind of figure who the villains are. But it is still good because you don't expect the villains to be what they are. which is, spoilers, cat people. Yeah. Cat people. Insert joke here. Now, there are the red herrings I don't particularly care for. You got like the gardener who turns out to be a cop who was investigating the disappearances. Yeah, that's pretty much what he is, and I'm just kind of thinking, it's like, yeah, who thought he was going to be the bad guy? Who thought he was going to be the villain? And then you got this disgruntled fisherman in the swamp who's been trying to get this catfish, and he's voiced by Mark Hamill, who is Mark Hamill, and he's only in a couple of scenes. You kind of forget he's there. So honestly, he's not a good red herring. He really isn't. Heck, honestly, you could have just had the character red herring in this movie, and I would have bought it. And then you have these other characters, Lena and Simone, who are the villains, who are the cat people. But what I like about it is they're not doing it for greed. They're not doing it because there's treasure on the island. They're not doing it to scare people off. They do get a sympathetic backstory. You kind of understand why they did what they did. But then you realize, but they're still bad. They're still villains who are doing terrible things because they become the monsters that they sought to destroy. But they're not the typical. But they are not the typical villains. This movie to me is what Mystery Incorporated ended up becoming, to a sort of, where they went that darker route, where they tried to flesh those characters out, give them arcs, just in a 70-minute time frame. The voice acting is very good. Now, a lot of the actors from the original series aren't back except for Frank Welker. And I do recommend looking up the Wikipedia article on it. It is kind of funny how Frank Welker tried to get the role as Freddy back. Now, he doesn't play Scooby, which is a shame, because for me, Frank Welker is always Scooby-Doo. No substitutes. But they do have a good Scooby in this. Billy West plays a really good Shaggy. Like, surprisingly so. Like, keep in mind, I didn't know who Billy West was at that time when I was watching it. For the longest time, I did think it was Casey Kasem. But now I realize it is Billy West. And I'm thinking, wow, he's not only good at playing two different people on Futurama, he's really good at playing Shaggy. Like, watch this, watch that new Scoob, and just know, Billy West or Will Forte? Know which one is the better Shaggy. It's not Will Forte. The other cast members are good. I wish I could remember who played Velma and Dabney. I really do. Because they're good. They're good before, Grey DeLisle came along. Grey Griffin. Adrienne Barbeau is in this. Tara Strong is in this. Two very accomplished actresses, two very good voice actresses. Jim Cummings with a Cajun accent before Princess and the Frog came along. Like I said, Mark Hamill is in this. Cam Clark is in this. Doing his Master Miller voice, actually. Now, what do I think about... Is it scary? yeah, it's not like nightmare inducing, but there are plenty of moments where you're like, ooh, wow, this is actually pretty intense. Not to the point where you wouldn't show a child, but where you know the direction they're going, and that they got that balance there. The zombies are they're not like Walking Dead zombies. They're kind of more like dehydrated husks, just tumbling their way towards our heroes, and they are they're simple in design, save for what they're wearing, so you know which ones are older zombies, which ones are more recent zombies. So you got your pirate zombies, you got your Confederate soldier zombies, you got your tourist zombies, you got your plantation zombies. God, movie. Anyway, you know what the zombies are. And like I said, they're pretty scary looking. Especially when they have the proper lighting, when they got the proper shading. The cat people are kind of spooky at the beginning. There are good scares in this, not jump scares, but just good tenseful moments. This movie is fun. This movie is a good brisk 70 minutes that's fun. It knows how to set up its characters, it knows how to set up its main story, and then go from there. It knows how to play with the tropes that it had in the past, like with Fred always thinking that it's this hoax, that someone is trying to scare them off the island, which they are, but it's not. But the zombies are real, and it's not like the annoying skeptic. You get why he's acting. He says what he says because it's years of experience. It's not like that stereotypical stupid skeptic that doesn't believe in anything, even when the spooky stuff is happening. When he realizes, oh, the zombie is real, he still tries to put a rational explanation, but then Daphne stamps that out by going, "You're not a skeptic, Fred. You're in denial." I like that. I do. And that is where kind of the whole romance between her and Fred also start kind of blooming. I know it's been there or hinted at in the past, but this is where it kind of started becoming a major thing, especially in later iterations. So, but what do I not like about this movie? I don't care for the music. I know. Scooby-Doo with bad music? Oh. I don't know who the band is. I don't really care for the song. It's like, okay, you got your Scooby-Doo, you got the Scooby-Doo thing. All right, there's no screwing that up. There's no making that bad. It's late 90s rock version of Scooby-Doo. Or Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? But then you got this other song, which is called "The Monster Is Fake," and and they play it during the montage where the gang is in Louisiana and they're just running into a bunch of guys in masks, and I am going, okay, how much crime has Louisiana got in like this one town? Dude, is there literally like a club they join in and go, oh yeah, we're gonna commit a crime while the Scooby gang is here? It's like, did they know they were coming? But they play this song and it's just on the nose, like, oh, yeah, this monster is fake. He's got a mask on. It's basically that, and it's bad. I will say this though: the last song they play, "It's a Terrifying Time," is kind of catchy. I've been playing it in my head all day long. All day. Oh my god. I can't get it out of my head. But all in all, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is a very fun movie. It's a movie I recommend you show to your kids. They're gonna have a good time. They're gonna get a light scare. It's an appropriate zombie movie. It's a good way to introduce your kids to zombies and to Scooby-Doo if you want. And it also ushered in an era where we had actually good quality Scooby-Doo movies, like Witch's Ghost, which had a really good marketing as well. Scooby-Doo Attack of the Aliens, or Aliens Attack, or which, yeah, anyway. And Cyber Chase. 4 really good ones. There were a couple of others later on, but, you know, just kind of went... but yeah, so what do I give Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island? Well, I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. The songs aren't great. One will get stuck in your head. The animation's good for direct-to-video. The voice acting's great. The atmosphere is good. I recommend it. Well, that's it for me, guys. If you like this video, please let me know with the like button and a comment below. And subscribe to my channel, The Oc-CULT-ure Critic. And if you guys want to talk to me more about horror, please hit me up on the Slasher app at NOES2Rules. That is NOES2Rules with a Z. I'm Adam, The Oc-CULT-ure Critic. I get scared because I don't care. And I'll see you guys next week with whatever other scary kids movie I can think of. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.